Previously on Movie Life, House of Wax.
It turns out my dog's only got one testicle.
Heat up the wax gun. Come again?
Thinking about asking Sophia to marry me.
She doesn't want to come out of her trailer. I'm thinking...
I'm Alicia.
I'm Chad.
I'm Jared.
I'm Paris, and we're making a movie in Australia for legendary producer Joel Silver.
Joel's the boss.
He's the man.
He's hot, and he invited some cameras along to capture the madness,
The thrill, the insanity.
The chaos of making a movie.
You know, it's not always about what happens between action and cut.
This is Movie Life, House of Wax.
We just had a last-minute visit from the owners and runners of the building. We were talking about the carpet and the mess and the little presents that Ozzy left. And Chad's going to pay for it.
The dog had cost Chad something like $10,000 in apartment repairs.
So it's a good chunk of change just to raise a puppy. $10,000 for carpet.
I know. I hate it too. I don't even like putting it on you. Evidently, it's supposed to help you learn.
Ozzy, he's a big boy, and so Ozzy needs to make sure that he's trained. And I've never actually, I usually train my dogs on my own, but I figured, let's try puppy preschool. If you know absolutely nothing about dogs, take your dog to puppy preschool. If you know anything about dogs, you're wasting your time.
So I guess we'll let him run away.
Go, dude, go. Beat the crap out of it. At the pup shop, we had to put all the other dogs away. And I haven't seen a puppy take him out yet. I'm waiting. He needs to get his butt kicked.
Ozzy's a monster. I mean, he's a big boy, and he just trampled every other puppy in the joint.
He doesn't listen to no. It's just like, whatever. I think Nutclub gets the obnoxious dog award. Chad's dog is obnoxious.
Just rambunctious and kind of like a playful, not scared of anything dog.
Dude, you're a bully. So by the time all the puppies were done playing, everyone had already picked their dogs up because mine kicked all their asses, which was great. How you holding up? Beating everyone to a pulp already? Now you can't play with anybody? No one wants to play with you, huh? There you go. What am I supposed to do?
I was never concerned about Ozzy's interaction with the other dogs. Why should I be?
Bye.
Every time Nikki and I are in the Gold Coast, we always stay at the Versace Hotel. It's so nice. Everything's Versace. Like the beds, the sheets, the towels, the pool has Versace everywhere, so I love it.
We're going to the zoo.
What zoo are we going to? What's it called? Currumbin Century? With the koalas and stuff? Yeah. That's hot. I didn't eat these yet. So good.
Every time I go to the Gold Coast, we always end up going to the zoo because I love animals.
The Currumbin Wildlife Sanctuary. What's that? Stupid trees.
It's like a cool zoo because you could actually pet the animals.
Oh, he bit my hand. This one doesn't bite as little teeth. Sorry. Ow! That one bit.
I love being around animals. It makes me happy. It's more fun to me than doing anything.
The big one is mean.
I'd have a great time hanging out with animals.
He's running.
More than people sometimes.
Ew, look at its balls. Look at the balls. They're so low. Look at the balls. This one. We're sick. Aren't they cute? Don't they sleep like 20 hours a day or something? And then when they're awake, all they do is...
I want to hold that one. That's so cute.
Don't they like when we're holding them? Yes.
Put curry on your hands there, so just keep them very still for me.
Can you take my hat off, Nikki, and make my hair look cute? Oh, my phone's right. Can we take it off?
Yeah. Another one. Another one. Another one.
It's not a photo shoot. How many times Sometimes you get to take the koala in your arms. Yeah. Oh, it's so cute. I want it.
I love koalas. They're so cute. They kind of stink, but they're cute.
We're missing Hilton's sisters.
Oh, crap, I need a black coffee. The blackest coffee you can possibly give me. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. I'm supposed to go stud with cockfighting, right?
Chad really has been in a lot of movies as a kind of a teen heartthrob. He's been in a lot of teen romances. But you know, Chad really, he had to learn how to fight. He had to learn how to throw a punch and take a punch and had to learn how to be a tough kid.
I'm gonna need a coffee, just a caramel macchiato with a lot of vanilla and 2 sugars. Dude, I need to, like, have sex more. My hips won't hurt so much. The most masculine thing you'll ever see.
Just trying to get some basic movement happening for the fights, seeing how he's standing, how his movement goes, so when we get to the actual fight scenes, it'll make it easier for everyone. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Street fighting is fun. It's interesting, footwork and all the things, you know, growing up fighting and getting in high school fights and stuff like that. You never, you know, had footwork or anything. You just kind of just was a free-for-all. But here, we have to be safe, we have to choreograph, and I need to know what I'm doing. I mean, whew, talk about stamina.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Who is it?
William Joel?
Oh, it's my agent.
2 seconds.
I'm having a great time, man. Just doing a little fight training. A little winded. Dude, well, I'm not in Sydney. I'm in Gold Coast.
These young actors have to commit to these performances.
Turn the camera for a second.
You have to make the audience believe what's happening is really happening, and it's hard to do.
I'm going to listen to everything they say. These stunt coordinators are good. They're great. They're showing me what to do. I'm not going to argue. I don't know enough about the situation. You tell me what to do, and I'll do it. I'm there. And eventually we have to choreograph this thing and not kill anybody at the same time.
Got him good.
Coming up.
Wax everything on a wax floor, wax figures, wax glasses, and wax paintings. I'm having my fill of wax. It's a huge production, and it's on a huge scale, and we have like 4 or 5 huge stages full of our sets, and you look around and everybody you see on the studio is somehow or another involved with House of Wax, and it's a big, cool deal. It should be called the House of Wax Studios, not the Warner Brothers Studios.
You have to come across as real, otherwise the audience can't get into it and can't feel like they're involved.
In my eyes, they're all real right now.
To create molds and faces and these heads that are just beyond anything I could imagine. To get to see it for the first time was really impressive.
It just goes to show our special effects guys are incredible.
This is sick.
It is sick.
Look at those people. It's like, oh, this is horrible, you know.
Some of them are real.
Oh my God.
Some of them are movies.
Sorry, sir.
They're all right.
Another thing which is cool is the actual House of Wax set in the movie House of Wax is a House of Wax. The house is actually wax. Like you can go up to it and scratch it, and the wax comes off on your finger, and you can hold a lighter up to it, and it starts to melt. And then you open up the big doors that are wax on the outside, and you step on a wax floor, and there are wax figures and wax glasses with wax wine in it, and wax forks and wax knives and a wax couch and wax paintings. Just wax everything. I'm having my fill of wax, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, everything is wax. We've got to be real careful with fires. This stuff is thick and gooey and hangs on, and it's better visually and a lot safer. But the cleanup's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, we're not shooting breakfast at Tiffany's. At least you have to do this stuff to me, and I don't come to work looking like this.
Yeah. This is not a pretty movie. I got blood everywhere. I got cuts everywhere. You know, I look like a mess the whole time.
I'm like Pigpen.
Yeah.
And I have a cloud of dust around me 24 hours a day. Literally Pigpen.
And action.
actually extremely lucky that day because I had worked really hard, like really intense for the first half of the day because I was here in the scene and Brian and Chad are on this side. Obviously, they either have to shoot one way or the other. And then they're like, we're wrapping you, the cameras are in your position, we're shooting all the fight sequence on the left side. Cool. I get the rest of the day off.
Yeah, I'm done today. I'll be back, though.
I don't have my passport. Do I need to travel with passport? I don't have an ID or anything. I don't have my passport.
I'm heading off to Melbourne for a party for me, for FHM. I was on the cover of FHM that month, so they threw a party for me. So, it should be a fun night.
Wow. You get to go in the yellow one? All right.
Are you excited? You are currently in Australia filming a movie over up at the Gold Coast. What's this movie about? Another interesting thing that you're into in Paris is singing. What sort of style of music would you say you do?
Everyone was like, we want to hear your single, Screwed, so I just went on stage and did it for everybody. It was cute. I've always been singing my entire life, and I've always, you know, loved Madonna and knew all the words. And as I got older, everyone's like, you have a good voice. So I just started writing an album.
I found out about Paris' singing career on the set because she was extremely excited about it. Her voice is kind of cool. A lot better than mine.
My single, Screwed, is about a girl who's in love with a guy, and she's screwed because she knows he's not the right guy for her, but she still stays with him, so she's screwed because she loves him even though she knows she shouldn't.
That punch, okay. Grab him, throw it into that chest.
Oh, you're gonna see my reaction on that camera?
So Alicia had gone home for the day, and we were about to kind of do the climax to the fire set, to the burn set.
We're going to start on Brian.
Dave, you can have a look through a
fire in the background.
There's this word, verisimilitude. The audience has to believe that it's real. You have to make them believe it's really happening. So it was important that the audience see Chad and Brian in this process. We never want to put anybody in danger. I mean, things always go wrong, but you try not to have that happen.
All I remember is I'm laying there, and they say rolling, and it just got really hot. And I had no idea why, and my fingers just kind of started bubbling a little bit. And I thought, well, that's not good. And so I just kind of jumped up, and by the time I turned around, you ever seen a Pop Clips Now? Yeah, it kind of looked like that. The fire it was insane. Within like 20 seconds, it was shooting out of the roof.
I'm talking about the most horrific dust and ashes and smoke. It was flaming. It was crazy.
And by this time, the entire set was kind of imploding on itself. I mean, people were scared, but Jason and I are holding the two doors that go to the outside while We just kind of rushed people out and had people come through. Jamie was the last one out, our first AD. And as soon as he was out, we closed the door and booked.
I get a phone call from Herb, and he said, the house is burnt down. I went, okay. And he goes, no, the whole stage is gone.
A movie shoot became a real-life drama when fire ripped through a Warner Roadshow studio on the Gold Coast last night. A candle-burning scene from the Paris Hilton movie, The House of Wax, started the inferno, which destroyed the building and everything inside it.
It was a scene worthy of Hollywood's best, but there was nothing fictional about this disaster. The set of the Paris Hilton thriller House of Wax exploding with unscripted horror just before 7 o'clock.
Props and what have you inside, it led to a very rapid spread of the fire throughout the building, and not a lot of hope to stop it.
It was great because everyone really kept themselves together, especially the producers and everybody. They really made an effort to make sure everyone got out all right.
I'm trying to get a lot of people out, too.
When I found out the set was on fire, I was so scared. I was just hoping that everyone was okay. I feel bad for John and everybody that happened, but thank God everyone was all right.
The important thing, everybody's okay.
Yes.
I was like the very first thing you say. Movies. What time can we pull Joel?
Well, my initial reaction was panic and concern and fear and, hope everybody was okay. And then, then after that you go to, let's put the fire out and get everything relaxed and calm down. And then we have to figure out how we're going to deal with, going from here forward.
There's the Phil, there she is.
And it's your order. I thought there'd be one less thing for you to worry about. The mag. Filming it. That was shooting while it all went up in flames.
What?
Oh my God.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Oh my
Is that inside?
No, it's
outside.
outside.
No, it's Eric's.
Yeah, that's when the roof exploded.
I know that Chad was very stirred up, which he obviously should have, because it was something that really is a scary thing to have happened to him. I mean, he was there, he was in it, he saw it happen.
I was laying on the floor, and right as soon as they turned the fire on, I mean, it was hotter than I've ever felt it. My knuckles, started bubbling up and stuff like that, and, I couldn't stay there anymore. I heard a little pop. They were already rolling, already shooting. That's all I know. So it was underneath us at the same time.
I think it's something that will forever stay inside my head. I'll never be able to forget it. I mean, I think anytime you have a life-threatening situation, it's going to be traumatizing, but wow, that was a close one. But I guess it's an experience I'll never forget.
I think Chad and I think, anybody else who saw it was pretty freaked out by the enormity of it and by what could have happened.
We had planned on doing all this fire stuff, and we had, firemen there. It was all planned to be a fire set. It wasn't planned to burn down the stage. But a couple of things occurred. The fire retardant, which they were spraying on all the area kind of under the stage, the wax, it was melting above the stage, was melting on the fire retardant. So every time the wax would cover the fire retardant, it wasn't making it function. Finally, the buildup of all that and the heat upstairs in the set, it just got too big, too quick. It did engage the building, and they did lose the whole stage and the whole set.
Unbelievable. We lost 3 sets, 2 of which we'll have up in 2 weeks. The third, which will take 10 to 12 weeks. We lost all the wax figures. We lost all the equipment, cameras, dollies, lights, sound. And I think we lost a lot of peace of mind.
To have a set burn down and be replaced, to me, is a blessing for the fact that we could have been dealing with a different situation right now. And it's hard to go back to something where all of the crew members have experienced this devastation of just watching what they've worked so hard to create go up in flames. And it's going to affect people. It's scary.
You don't want to have to risk your life for something that isn't worth it, you know. This is something we do for a living, not something we want to give our lives for.
Next time on Movie Life, House of Wax. Mr. Michael Murray started some rumor that Paris has a crush on me.
Jared is drop dead gorgeous.
I'm getting sick. Get that camera out of here.